Control your mind, or it will control you. Most people believe they're in control of their thoughts. But what if that's a lie? Every day, millions wake up and follow the same patterns. Not because they choose to, but because their untrained mind chooses for them. Distractions, fear, overthinking. They aren't just bad habits. They are signs that your mind is running the show, without your permission. This isn't about motivation, it's about survival. Because in today's world, the person who doesn't control their mind will be controlled by everything else. The news, the opinions, the noise. If you don't master your mind, it will master you. And what it cost you? Your focus, your future, your freedom. 2. There's a war going on inside your head. And most people don't even realize they're losing. It's not the world that breaks you, it's your thoughts. The self-doubt that whispers you're not good enough. The overthinking that paralyzes your every move. The inner critic that tells you to play it safe, stay small, blend in. This is the silent enemy within, and it destroys more dreams than failure ever will. You see, most people are living with an invisible fog clouding their judgment. They wake up already tired, not from lack of sleep, but from the noise in their mind. Constant loops of regret, fear of the future, comparisons, and guilt. And the worst part, they've accepted it as normal. They think that's just how life is. But pause for a second and look at those who break through. Those calm, focused, relentless individuals who seem untouchable. Do you really think they don't have problems? They do, but their power lies in one thing. They've learned to quiet the enemy inside before it becomes louder than the truth. The truth is, your mind is a battlefield. If you don't take control, it becomes a playground for fear. And fear, when left unchecked, will disguise itself as logic. Maybe now's not the right time. What if I fail again? I don't know enough yet. Sounds reasonable, right? But it's not reason. It's resistance wearing a mask. So ask yourself, who's really running your life? Is it your goals, or your insecurities? Because every time you don't take action, every time you shrink your dreams to fit your doubt, you feed that silent enemy, and it grows stronger. But here's the shift. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of those thoughts. You have the power to challenge them. You can interrupt the loop. You can build mental discipline, not by force but by awareness. Start here. Catch the next negative thought. Pause. Breathe. Ask, who is this voice trying to protect? And is it helping or harming me? That one question can crack open the mental prison you didn't even know you were in. Because once you see the enemy, you can stop being its victim, and start becoming its master. And when the mind is quiet, when doubt is no longer running the show, you'll hear something else. Clarity, direction, conviction. That's when things start to shift, not outside, inside. And the world, it responds to that version of you. 3. Most people walk through life, believing they're in control. They think they're making their own choices, setting their own pace, deciding their own future. But look closer. They check their phone before they even get out of bed. They scroll endlessly through content they didn't choose, reacting emotionally to things that don't matter. They say yes to things they hate, just to avoid judgment. They eat when they're stressed. They procrastinate when it's time to act. They know what they should do, but still don't do it. That's not control, that's autopilot. And here's the trap. The more out of control your actions become, the more you convince yourself that everything is fine, because the ego would rather protect the illusion than face the truth. But let's break the illusion. If you can't control what you think, how you feel, or how you act, who's really in charge? It's not you, it's your patterns, your programming, your past. That's why so many people feel stuck, not because they don't have dreams, but because their internal system is hijacked by comfort, by fear, by emotional reactivity, and they don't even know it. It's like trying to steer a ship without touching the wheel. You might think you're headed somewhere, but the waves, your impulses, distractions, insecurities, are actually deciding your direction. So what's the answer? Awareness. Not the kind you read about, the kind you feel when you realize, I've been living on default. That painful moment where you admit, I'm not in control, my habits are. But that moment, that's your starting point. Because you can't take control of a system you won't admit is broken. True control doesn't mean you never feel fear. It means fear doesn't get to drive. It doesn't mean you never feel lazy, it means you act anyway. It's when your values override your impulses, when your standards rise higher than your excuses, when your decisions lead, and your emotions follow. That's real power. And once you taste it, once you feel the difference between being dragged by life and directing, you'll never go back. The illusion shatters, and in its place, clarity, intention, ownership. You'll stop saying, "I can't," and start asking, "What would the strongest version of me do right now?" Because that version is waiting, but it only shows up when you do. From the moment you're born, you're not just learning how to walk, talk, and eat, you're learning how to think. And most of that programming? It's not yours. Before you ever question a belief, you've already inherited dozens. Society hands you a template: what success looks like, what failure means, what to fear, what to want. Your family reinforces it, not out of malice, but out of habit. They pass down mindsets wrapped in love, but many of those mindsets are fear-based, limiting, and built for survival, not growth. You're told to play safe, to follow rules, to not stand out too much. You're taught that mistakes are dangerous, that risk equals recklessness, and that approval is more valuable than authenticity. All before you even understand what those words mean. Then comes the media, movies, news, social platforms, all echoing the same coded messages. That wealth is rare, that confidence is genetic, that success belongs to them, not you. And slowly, without even knowing it, your mental operating system gets built on limitations. You believe them because they came early, and what comes early feels like truth. But here's the truth most never realize: your mindset wasn't chosen, it was installed. You didn't choose to doubt yourself. You didn't choose to fear failure. You didn't choose to crave validation. Those were quietly programmed into you by environments that didn't know any better. And the worst part, once those beliefs are set, your mind goes to work defending them. You start seeking out evidence that confirms your limitations. "See, I told you I'm not good at this. See, that person succeeded because they're lucky, not like me." Your subconscious becomes your jailer. The human mind loves patterns. It runs old code because it feels safe. But safety isn't freedom, especially if the program you're running was written by fear, scarcity, and outdated survival instincts. This is why people feel stuck even when they're trying hard. They go to seminars, read books, make vision boards, but they're doing it on top of faulty programming. It's like trying to upgrade your life while still using a virus-infected operating system. So the question isn't just how do I change? It's what am I still unconsciously obeying? Until you challenge those inherited beliefs, you're not really choosing your path, you're just following someone else's. That's not growth, that's autopilot. But the good news is this: what was programmed can be reprogrammed. If your current mindset was built without your consent, then your new mindset can be rebuilt with intention. But it starts by getting brutally honest about what ideas you're still carrying that don't belong to you. In the next section, we'll explore how to take back control and begin rewriting the mental scripts that have silently shaped your destiny. 5. Most people live their entire lives thinking they are free. Free to think, free to choose, free to live how they want. But freedom isn't about living without chains on your hands. It's about living without chains on your mind. And that's where the trap lies. Because the majority of people today are unknowingly trapped in 3 silent forms of mental slavery, each one more destructive than the last. The first is the reactive mind, the emotional slave. This is the person who reacts to life instead of leading it. One rude comment ruins their entire day. One failure convinces them they're a failure. Their emotions control their decisions, and their triggers define their identity. Every time they lash out, shut down, or spiral into overthinking, it's not because they're weak, it's because they've never learned how to rule their emotions. Emotional slaves don't choose their actions, they inherit them from their mood. The second is the distracted mind, the attention slave. This is the person who's never fully present. Their phone buzzes, and they forget their thoughts. They open one app, then another, and suddenly an hour disappears. But this isn't about screen time, it's about attention theft. Their focus, their power, their mind has been hijacked by noise. And in that noise, their potential dies silently. You can't build an empire if your mind is trapped in a scroll. Then comes the worst one. The defeated mind, the belief slave. This is the person who has silently accepted, "This is just who I am." They don't try to grow because someone once said, "You're not smart enough." They don't try to lead because someone once laughed when they spoke up. This kind of slavery isn't visible. It hides in the language of self-doubt, fear, and comfort. They're prisoners of old stories they never challenged. Stories whispered by parents, teachers, media, and failure. And over time, they shrink their dreams to match their mental cage. And the truth, most people are trapped in all three without even realizing it. But here's the twist: slavery of the mind doesn't require chains. It just requires you to stop thinking for yourself. It just needs you to feel without understanding, consume without questioning, and believe without challenging. You don't escape this slavery by shouting, "I'm free." You escape it by confronting each layer. You learn emotional mastery. You reclaim your attention, and you rewrite your beliefs. Because the most dangerous prison is the one you don't even know you're in. And once you can finally see it, you'll do whatever it takes to break free. Let's talk about how you start dismantling that prison, one brick at a time. 6. They say your mind is your sanctuary. But what if your sanctuary has already been invaded? From the moment we wake up, our attention is pulled in every direction. Notifications, opinions, doubts, distractions. Slowly, quietly, we lose ownership of our own thoughts. Our minds become occupied territory. We think we're making decisions, but often, we're reacting, programmed by noise we didn't even invite in. That's the silent war no one talks about, the battle for your inner space. We don't lose control of our lives all at once. We surrender at one scroll, one mindless habit, one unchecked thought at a time. Over time, the walls of our mental discipline crumble, and what replaces them isn't chaos. It's control, but not our control. It's the control of trends, of other people's voices, of fear, of doubt. Our dreams become diluted, our confidence hijacked. But here's the truth. You can reclaim your mind. It starts with awareness. You must realize how much space you've already given away, how many hours have been lost in distraction, how many decisions made from pressure rather than purpose. The good news, just like territory, the mind can be reclaimed. Take back your morning. Before the world speaks, let you speak to yourself. Set the tone. Anchor your thoughts. Even 10 minutes of silence in the morning rewires who you become for the next 14 hours. Create mental boundaries. That means guarding what enters your mind the same way a soldier guards the gate. Don't let just anyone in. Not every voice deserves a seat at your internal table. Unfollow, mute, remove. This isn't arrogance, it's self-respect. Then comes reinforcement. Mental strength isn't built once, it's fortified daily. That's where disciplines like journaling, solitude, reading, reflection, they come in like troops for your mental army. They push back the noise, reinforce clarity, and rebuild walls where distraction used to rule. But even deeper than that is the truth. No one will fight for your mind, but you. No one will reclaim your focus for you. That is your battle. And the moment you decide to take it back, is the moment everything begins to change. Not just how you think, but how you feel, act, lead, and live. And as you take your mind back, piece by piece, you'll notice something. Your power returns with it. Suddenly, you're not reacting, you're choosing. You're not confused, you're clear. You're not overwhelmed, you're intentional. You don't need to control everything around you. You only need to control what's within you. 7. Every day begins with a choice. Not a loud one, but a silent war. A war between what you feel and what you know you should do. Do you hit snooze or rise with purpose? Do you scroll aimlessly or read that one chapter? Do you let fear win or move forward anyway? This battle isn't dramatic. There are no fireworks, just quiet moments where your life is decided, one decision at a time. And the enemy, it's not the world, it's not people, it's emotion. Your emotions crave comfort. Your discipline craves growth. Emotion says, I don't feel like it. Discipline says, do it anyway. Emotion pulls you to the couch. Discipline pushes you into the workout. Emotion wants fast dopamine. Discipline wants delayed greatness. Here's what most people don't understand. Emotion is not the villain, it's just loud. It screams louder than logic, louder than your goals, louder than your values. And when you're tired, stressed, uncertain, you listen to the loudest voice. That's why most people live reactive lives. Their days are dictated by moods, not mission. They chase feeling good instead of becoming better. They react instead of build. They seek escape instead of elevation. But the elite, the few who rise, they know this war, they respect it, and they build systems to win it. They don't wait to feel ready. They use systems to act ready, regardless of emotion. They design routines that protect them from decision fatigue. They create environments that make the right action easier. They commit to habits, even when it's raining, even when it's boring, even when no one's watching. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about winning more battles than you lose. You will fail some days. That's okay. The key is to return to the fun. Because every small win, every time you choose the hard thing over the easy one, rewires your identity. Discipline is not motivation. It's not hype. It's not willpower. It's identity. You don't brush your teeth because you're motivated. You do it because it's who you are. Imagine if discipline became just as automatic. Imagine showing up, not because you're inspired, but because it's part of you now. This is what separates high performers from high talkers. They act based on principle, not emotion. They've trained themselves to respond instead of react. So the next time you hear that emotional voice whispering, skip it.